In the wild world of cryptocurrency, you hear some pretty incredible price predictions thrown around. One of the most persistent and exciting ideas is the dream of XRP hitting a price of $10,000 per coin. For anyone holding even a small amount of XRP, that sounds like a life-changing lottery ticket. But before we get too carried away with visions of Lamborghinis and early retirement, we need to step back and get real about what that would actually take. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially when you see headlines and social media posts promising massive gains. The idea is certainly appealing, but we have to look past the excitement and analyze the hard numbers. So what is XRP anyway? It's a digital asset created by the company Ripple. Its main purpose is to make international payments faster and cheaper. Think about sending money from the United States to Japan. Right now, that process can take days and involve high fees because it has to go through multiple banks. XRP was designed to solve this problem by acting as a bridge currency. A bank in the US could convert dollars into XRP, send the XRP instantly across the globe, and a bank in Japan could convert it back into yen. This whole process could happen in just a few seconds, which is a massive improvement over the old system. The big question everyone is asking is whether this useful technology can translate into a price tag of $10,000 per coin within the next 5 years. To put this into perspective, as of today, August 6th, 2025, XRP is trading for well under $1. The jump from its current price to $10,000 isn't just a big jump, it's a monumental leap that would require something extraordinary to happen. We're talking about a price increase of millions of percent. While the crypto market is known for its volatility and surprising moves, a jump of this magnitude for an asset with such a large supply is almost unheard of. Therefore, we need to separate the fantasy from the reality. It's one thing to be optimistic about a project's future, and another to believe in a price target that seems to defy the basic laws of economics. In this essay, we're going to break down the numbers, look at what XRP is actually used for, and consider what financial experts have to say about this ambitious prediction. Is there any scenario where $10,000 is possible, or is it just a hopeful dream? Let's dive in and figure out what's realistic and what's simply not going to happen anytime soon. To understand why the $10,000 XRP target is so unlikely, we need to talk about a simple concept called market capitalization, or market cap. The market cap of any asset is calculated by a very simple formula. You take the current price of one unit and multiply it by the total number of units in circulation. For example, if a company has 100 shares and each share is worth $10, its market cap is $1,000. This number gives you a rough idea of the total value of the asset. It's a crucial metric for comparing different cryptocurrencies or stocks and understanding their relative size in the financial world. Now, let's apply this to XRP. There is a total supply of 100 billion XRP coins. Let's imagine all of them are in circulation for this calculation. If just one XRP was worth $10,000, the total market cap would be 100 billion multiplied by $10,000. That gives you a staggering number $1 quadrillion. That's a 1 with 15 zeros after it. To give you some context, the entire global economy, the value of every single company, all the real estate, and all the money in the world is estimated to be around $100 trillion. A $1 quadrillion market cap for XRP alone would make it 10 times more valuable than everything else on Earth combined. Even if we only use the current circulating supply, which is around 55 billion XRP, the math still looks impossible. At $10,000 per coin, the market cap would be $550 trillion. That is still more than 5 times the value of the entire world's economy. There simply isn't that much money in existence to pour into a single digital asset. For XRP to reach this price, it wouldn't just need to be successful, it would need to fundamentally replace every other form of value on the planet, which is an absurd proposition. No single asset, whether it's Apple stock, gold, or a cryptocurrency, could ever command that much capital. This market cap calculation is the single biggest reason why experts immediately dismiss the $10,000 prediction. It's not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of pure mathematics. The amount of money required is so far beyond the realm of possibility that it renders the discussion almost meaningless from a financial standpoint. While it's fun to dream, the numbers provide a very cold and very clear dose of reality. The global financial system would have to be completely rewritten, and an unprecedented amount of hyperinflation would need to occur for such a valuation to even begin to make sense. putting aside impossible price predictions, let's look at what XRP is actually good for. As mentioned earlier, XRP's primary function is to facilitate fast and cheap cross-border payments through Ripple's technology. This service is known as on-demand liquidity, or ODL. Instead of banks needing to hold funds in different currencies all over the world, which is expensive, they can use ODL to source liquidity instantly using XRP. This is a genuine problem in the traditional finance world, and Ripple is offering a legitimate solution. The hope for XRP investors is that as more banks and financial institutions adopt this technology, the demand for XRP will increase, which would naturally drive up its price. The potential for XRP doesn't stop with just bank-to-bank payments. The technology could also be integrated with emerging financial systems, including central bank digital currencies or CBDCs. Many governments around the world are exploring the idea of creating their own digital versions of their national currencies. XRP could potentially act as a neutral bridge asset to allow for seamless exchange between a digital dollar, a digital euro, and a digital yen. This would place XRP at the very center of the future of finance, making it an essential piece of global financial plumbing. This is a much more grounded bull case for XRP. However, it's important to remember that for XRP to fulfill its role as a bridge currency, its price needs to be relatively stable. Extreme volatility, which would certainly be the case if it were on a path to $10,000, would make it less useful for payments. Banks need to know that the value of the XRP they are using won't crash or skyrocket in the few seconds it takes to complete a transaction. Therefore, the very utility of XRP works against the idea of it having a hyper-volatile speculative price. A successful XRP is likely a stable XRP, not one that is making people millionaires overnight. So while XRP has a clear and valuable use case, that utility does not directly translate to a $10,000 price tag. Its success is more likely to be measured by its adoption rate among financial institutions and its ability to process a high volume of transactions efficiently. This would lead to gradual, sustainable price growth rather than an explosive moonshot. The real value of XRP lies in its technology and its potential to improve the global financial system, not in its potential as a get-rich-quick scheme. Investors should focus on this real-world utility when evaluating its long-term potential. When you turn to financial experts and crypto analysts who aren't trying to sell you a dream, the consensus is clear: the $10,000 XRP prediction is pure fantasy. Most credible analysts laugh off this figure not because they dislike XRP, but because it ignores the fundamental principles of economics and market valuation that we've already discussed. They emphasize that for XRP to achieve such a price, its market capitalization would have to exceed the combined wealth of the entire planet, which is an absolute impossibility. These experts often caution investors to be wary of influencers or online personalities who promote such unrealistic targets, as they are often driven by hype rather than sound analysis. Instead of talking about $10,000, seasoned analysts offer much more sober and realistic predictions for XRP's price over the next 5 years. These forecasts are usually in the range of a few dollars, with highly optimistic scenarios perhaps placing it somewhere between $5 and $10. These predictions are based on models that consider factors like the potential growth of the cross-border payments market, the rate of adoption of Ripple's ODL service, and the overall growth of the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Even reaching $10 would represent a significant gain from its current price, making it a fantastic investment for many. The journey for XRP is also filled with challenges that could hinder its growth. Ripple has been in a long-standing legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, which has created uncertainty and may have slowed its adoption in some regions. Furthermore, it faces competition from other projects aiming to solve the same problems, including stablecoins and other blockchain networks like Stellar. For XRP to succeed, it must not only overcome its legal hurdles but also prove that its technology is superior to its competitors. These are significant obstacles that must be factored into any reasonable price prediction. In conclusion, while it's fun to dream about what you would do if XRP hit $10,000, it's crucial to ground your investment strategy in reality. The evidence overwhelmingly suggests that this price target is not achievable in the next 5 years, or likely ever. The mathematics of market capitalization make it an impossibility. XRP has a promising future as a technology designed to improve global finance, and it could certainly see significant price appreciation if it achieves widespread adoption. However, investors should look toward more realistic price targets and understand that slow, steady growth based on real-world utility is a much more likely outcome than a speculative explosion into the financial stratosphere.